When you think of the American dream, the story of Martha Stewart is one that immediately comes to mind. She's a woman who built an empire from scratch, who turned her name into a brand recognized in homes across the world. But her story isn't just about business success and perfectly folded napkins. It's a story of risk, reinvention, and resilience. Martha Stewart's rise, fall, and remarkable comeback show how one woman shaped an entire industry and refused to be defined by her failures. Martha was born on August 3, 1941, in Jersey City, New Jersey. She grew up in a hardworking Polish-American family, one of 6 children. From a young age, Martha learned the value of discipline and craft. Her mother taught her how to cook and sew. Her father taught her about gardening. What some might have seen as simple household tasks, Martha approached with an eye of perfection. But Martha's ambition stretched far beyond her childhood home. She was smart and driven. In high school, she worked as a babysitter for the children of Yogi Berra, the famous baseball player, and even modeled to earn money. After graduation, she attended Barnard College in New York City, where she initially studied chemistry before switching to art history and architecture. While at Barnard, she met and married Andrew Stewart, a law student at Yale. The couple married in 1961, and shortly after, Martha began working as a model. She appeared in ads for Chanel, showing the world a glimpse of the poise and polish that would later define her brand. But modeling wasn't Martha's calling. Instead, she turned to Wall Street. In the late 1960s, she worked as a stockbroker, one of the few women in the male-dominated financial industry. It was a demanding job, but Martha thrived in the competitive environment. She learned about business, investments, and what it took to build wealth. But eventually, she left Wall Street and began to focus on raising her daughter, Alexis. That's when her second act begun. In 1976, Martha and her family moved to Westport, Connecticut, and purchased a 19th century farmhouse. The house needed a lot of work, and Martha threw herself into the renovation. At the same time, she started a catering business from her basement. What began as a small operation grew quickly. With her attention to detail and creative presentation, Martha's catering became the talk of the town. She wasn't just preparing food, she was creating experiences. Word spread, and soon Martha was catering events for celebrities and corporate executives. Her approach was fresh, elegant, and meticulous. She was a perfectionist in the kitchen and in presentation, and clients loved it. In 1982, Martha published her first book, Entertaining. It wasn't just a cookbook, it was a beautifully photographed guide to hosting stylish gatherings. The book became a bestseller, including Martha Stewart's vision to a national audience. She wasn't reinventing cooking or decorating, she was elevating it. Over the next decade, Martha expanded her brand through books, magazine articles, and television appearances. She became the go-to expert for everything home-related: cooking, gardening, decorating, and organizing. In 1990, she launched Martha Stewart Living, a magazine that captured her signature aesthetic. Each page was filled with perfectly arranged flowers, mouth-watering recipes, and helpful tips for creating beauty in everyday life. But Martha wasn't content to be just an author or editor. She wanted control over her entire brand. In 1997, she took a bold step and founded Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia, a media and merchandising company. This was a rare move at the time. Few people, especially women, had built lifestyle brands around themselves. She took her company public in 1999. On the day of the initial public offering, Martha Stewart became America's first self-made female billionaire. Her face was on television, her voice was on the radio, her products filled the shelves at Kmart, and her brand became synonymous with taste and domestic expertise. But as her empire reached new heights, a storm was brewing. In 2001, Martha Stewart became the center of an insider trading scandal. Federal investigators alleged that she had sold shares of a biotech company, ImClone Systems, based on non-public information. Martha maintained that she acted on public knowledge, but in 2003, she was indicted on charges of securities fraud and obstruction of justice. The trial was headline news. For a woman whose brand was built on perfection, the accusations cut deep. In 2004, Martha Stewart was found guilty of conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and making false statements. She was sentenced to 5 months in federal prison, 5 months of home confinement, and 2 years of probation. The media frenzy was relentless. Tabloids portrayed her downfall as a cautionary tale of ambition gone too far. Critics delighted in her fall from grace. But Martha didn't let the scandal define her. In October 2004, Martha reported to the Alderson Federal Prison Camp in West Virginia, often called Camp Cupcake by the press. But prison was no vacation. Martha later described it as humbling and difficult experience. During her time there, she kept a low profile, took up crocheting, and mentored fellow inmates. When she was released in 2005, many wondered if her career was over, but they underestimated her resilience. Martha Stewart wasted no time launching her comeback. She returned to television with The Martha Stewart Show, a daytime talk show that ran for several years and earned multiple Emmy nominations. She expanded her product lines, partnered with retailers like Macy's and Home Depot, and continued publishing books and magazines. What set Martha's comeback apart wasn't just her ability to rebuild her business, it was her honesty. She didn't shy away from discussing her prison sentence. Instead, she used it to humanize herself. In interviews, she acknowledged her mistakes but emphasized the importance of learning from failure and moving forward. Martha's brand, once seen as symbol of perfection, now resonated with something deeper: perseverance. In the years that followed, Martha Stewart remained a force in media and retail. She expanded into wine, pet products, and meal kits. She partnered with emerging digital platforms and reached a new generation of fans through social media. And then came one of the most unexpected chapters of her career: her friendship with rapper Snoop Dogg. In 2016, the unlikely duo launched Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, a VH1 cooking show where they cooked, joked, and hosted celebrity guests. The chemistry between the two was polished. Precise Martha and the laid-back, charismatic Snoop was undeniable. The show was a hit, introducing Martha Stewart to a younger, more diverse audience. It also showcased another side of her sense of humor and her ability to laugh at herself. Through it all, Martha Stewart's influence has remained undeniable. She didn't just sell recipes and home decor ideas. She built a lifestyle brand that shaped how Americans think about their homes and daily lives. She taught millions of people that beauty and order can bring joy and meaning to everyday life. But her story is also about reinvention. Martha Stewart showed that even when you fall from grace, it's possible to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Over the decades, she has authored dozens of books, hosted countless television episodes, and inspired countless entrepreneurs. She's been honored with numerous awards, including induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame and a Daytime Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award. But beyond her success, Martha has been involved in philanthropy, supporting causes related to education, historic preservation, and prison reform. She has advocated for giving formerly incarcerated people a second chance, a cause close to her heart after her own experience. Today, Martha Stewart continues to work, innovate, and inspire. In 2020, at the age of 78, she went viral for posting a poolside selfie, reminding the world that confidence and style has no age limit. And in 2023, she made history again by becoming the oldest model to appear on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, breaking stereotypes about aging and redefining what it means to be a lifestyle icon. Martha Stewart's legacy is about much more than perfectly setting tables or beautifully wrapped gifts. It's about resilience, creativity, and the courage to start over. It's about the power of turning your passions into a career and never letting failure be the final chapter. She once said, "I have learned that mistakes can often be as good a teacher as success." That lesson has shaped her life and made her story one of the most remarkable in American business history. From a working-class girl in New Jersey to a billionaire entrepreneur, from a federal inmate to a beloved pop culture figure, Martha Stewart's story is full of contradictions, triumphs, and second chances. And perhaps that's why people are still fascinated by her today. She isn't perfect, she's human, but she's also proof that hard work, vision, and a little reinvention, you can build a life and a legacy that stands the test of time. Like, comment, and subscribe for daily history and culture content.